everyone, and welcome to today's session, the 1st of March 2022, meditation practices and living from a sense of being empowered and mindfulness. So let's start and welcome everybody that is joining us today to share their journey, their ideas, and have Anisa, our mindfulness coach, lead us into a state of meditative healing, empowerment, and truly what else is possible when minds come together from an intent to create a change, to not feel helpless, to not be victimized by anything that's going on outside, because within you, you are a state of an infinite strength, energy, and possibilities. And on that note, who would like to share their growth story or their experience of their life or any particular episode that they've been through? Would you like to share something, Lillian, Sonal? Or shall we ask Anisa to share some powerful nuggets that can help us? All right,
Thank
Anisa,
you
the
so
floor is
much,
yours.
Ruchika. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ruchika and Maria, for creating this heart-centered space and gathering that really bring empowerment to everyone. That's a very, very good question, Ruchika, because in today's world, in each moment, that can be something new. And talking about life itself, it's uncertain, right? So now we are gathered together, and we don't know what is happening next. So life itself is uncertainty in certain matter, and if we bring our focus always on what is happening in the external world, then that can bring loads of disappointment or drain really our energy. So when the meditation and let's say mindfulness, but really dynamic and active meditation is not only the moment that we see it and we are silent, but is kind of awareness that what is happening inside and the power that we have inside. So when we develop that and incorporate it into our life, then we will be able really to look at our strengths and uh, look for the opportunities of grow even through the challenges. So instead of saying I'm victim of what has happened to me, just change the story. Right? Is about consciousness and also the inner voice that we have on talking to ourselves. So change the story and say, let's see what is in it of what happened to me, or let's see what is the lesson that I need um, to learn during these things. So it has a lot where it's really be conscious to understand what is going on, to then decide if you would like to work on it, transform it, or learn something from it.
That is so, so beautiful, Anisa. And as you said, that meditation is not only practicing it in silence, but also when we are in the middle of our day to day living. So, and at that times, everything is happening so fast, whether it's our thoughts or whether it's our actions. We tend to kind of get swayed, and it's only after something has been over, then we were like, oh, but why did I have to kind of get so upset about it? So is there something that you could share where we could be more aware of the situation, however stressful it may be, but are able to actually do something different in that moment rather than later on?
Mhm. That's a very good question, because then what we think and then what we do, it change and shifts also energy. And if we go to the certain direction that can drain us so much, then to get it back and come back, it will require lots of energy again. So the first things that I believe has worked for me and for many other people that I know, clients or the people that I know. It's bringing consciousness into life. And consciousness is not only a beautiful word to play with or to use it, but is really to be aware that, hey, I have a body, I have a soul, I'm sitting in this moment here. Let's see what is going on in my thoughts. Let's have kind of awareness of what is happening and do not let life happen to us, but let life kind of happen through us, to decide for things, to say, okay, now I'm not feeling very good. Let's check my thoughts, and then observe the thoughts and say, hey, I just have a thought. I see you, I'm aware of you. It's not that you just can make everything to me, but I'm in control of the things. And identify the thoughts that we do not need or that are false true, For example, again, I'm victim. Are you really victim? Just let's take that mask off, Let's see what is behind that. Maybe you have done something. For example, I'm working a lot now with woman for relationship. So I'm not a relationship coach, but I'm teaching how to create joyful, authentic relationship based on, let's say, forgiveness or bring more consciousness into life. And many of them, they say, I'm victim. And then when we go and we take that mask off, we see that, hey, you knew that that is not a relationship that you want, and you then jump into that relationship and you just kind of created that situation for yourself. So it's about also honesty to see, let's see what is happening to us and be honest with ourselves and conscious about the events. I don't know, did it answer your question?
No, it did. It did. That's amazing, because suddenly what you were seeing as only like good or bad or positive or negative has a lot many more aspects to it, which is also somewhere we get stuck with, I think, judging ourselves. Oh, I'm getting late for an appointment. That's so bad. Now, what kind of an impression will the interviewee have about me? And by the time you get there, whether or not the interviewee wants to criticize you or not, you've criticized yourself so much that you've depleted your energies. You are not able to use all your capacities, because you
Yes.
think you're the worst person on this planet at that moment. And that is something that is so amazing that you're talking about, that these are all masks, I think, that we put on about once we start judging ourselves, whether we call ourselves a victim or not good enough, or for being bad about missing a metro, or not getting a taxi or whatever, as if everything that's happening in the world is your fault in that moment, when you need to be your best self. So thank you so much for that. And I think we all have stories in our lives where we have been in a situation where we let the crisis get the better of us, instead of putting on that mask which says, I am good enough, and it's okay to be not perfect.
Yeah.
How does it feel to
Mhm.
really have these two masks instead of the other ones of being the victim, or you being your own judge? What does it bring to you in terms of feeling empowered? So I think the listeners would really kind of enjoy and take away something if we could put in some real life stories here of where we've chosen in that moment to not play ourselves down and to step up.
I don't
And
know if
those
Sonal or
is courage.
Liliana wants to share something.
Who wants to share? Come on, guys. Let's.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm really happy to be with you. And for me, meditation is a kind of to keep in our mental health, and that's why it's so important to practice meditation. And we are talking about peace, and for me, peace it begins in ourselves. In you have to begin with you, and then it will become like a wave to our family, to our friends, and it's growing and growing. And that's meditation and peace for me.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I think that when we are able to pull off that mask of, let's say, perfectionism, and say that, you know what, yes, I did make a mistake, I did mess up, but that was in that moment. I am not an imperfect person. That what I did in that moment was imperfect. Now let's see what is happening from here onwards. You immediately allow yourself, your inner strength, to come out. And just to kind of share an example, I've driven for about 15, 20 years, but used to always drive in the city, not really going on the highway too much, because I used to worry, what if the car breaks down? What if I get lost because the GPS takes me somewhere else? I have children waiting at home. Why not play it safe? So that's been my area, territory of living in, till one day I had to do an event in France, and I live in the Netherlands, and there was no direct connection. And I had to take stuff with me. So I asked myself this question: are you really going to allow this fear to rule your life throughout? Because you drive well, and the cars these days are built to go long distances. GPS doesn't really let you down. So, in that moment, I just chose to acknowledge my true capacities instead of fear. I got into the car and I drove around 500 kilometers in one day, did the event, and 2 days later, I was back. Did I feel scared? Absolutely. Even now, when I think back of that moment of leaving my home behind, I was like really breaking out in cold sweat. So it's truly not just one choice, but to keep choosing over and over again till your old reality, which was not based on your true capacities, starts coming down. Would you like to share something about that, Mar or Sonal?
So,
You
Sonal,
have to accept the
Sonal,
situation as it comes.
True. That's really well said. That one has to face a situation as it
You
comes
have
to you.
to just witness what is happening around you. Accept the situation, flow with the flow of life, be positive. So things will move in proper direction. That's what I feel. In any situation,
That's
you should not
fantastic.
fear. You should not lose your inner strength. You should have that courage to face the situation because God helps you everywhere. He is with you.
Right, right. That was really well said. And I could see those bowls with those sticks. Are those, what do you call those, singing bowls?
Tibetan singing bowls, yeah.
Could you share something about
Tibetan,
that? I'd love to know how they work.
yeah, yeah. So basically, I'm a Tibetan uh, healer, therapist. I'm also a pranic healer, also access conscious bar practitioner by God's grace and my parents and my well-wishers' blessings. And about meditation, it's connecting to the soul within. And soul for me is Shiva Tattva. And today Mahashivratri in India. I am from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. And today is the biggest festival. It is an exuberant festival to worship Lord Shiva. That is connecting to the soul within. It is said that Shiva Tattva touches the earth on this day. Shiva is our soul and Tattva is the truth, the principle. And it is also said that Lord Shiva and Parvati married on this day. That is bringing two forces together, Shiva and Shakti. So meditation is connecting to your inner soul. And sound is used since ancient times for healing and meditation. It's very powerful and profound.
Wow, awesome. So
When
there
the
is a
singing
certain
bowls are
frequency.
like sung, it radiates. Sorry,
The singing bowls have a frequency of or
it
vibration of
radiates.
sound that is healing.
Yeah, they have a frequency and the vibration. Like as quantum physics says that everything has vibration, like even a plant, a book, a table. So we also vibrate at a certain frequency. So if that is disturbed, it is not in harmony, then it creates dis-ease in our body. So that leads to disease. And the sound has that vibrations, that soothing vibrations. When it enters, it vibrates each and every cell, muscle, tissues, glands, even bones in our body. The waves, the sound waves goes in a concentric circles, like when we throw a stone in a pond and those waves are formed. Similarly, it moves in the body and releases all the blockages, all the negativity, and it
Fantastic.
really takes you into deep meditative state, into the theta state of healing, where self-healing mechanism itself starts.
Great, great. Thank you for sharing that. Mar, please, you were wanting to add something.
Yeah, thank you. Sonal is fantastic now because we enter on what means tools, no, and more sophisticated for what means the Western countries, no, on how to do meditation, on how to be in harmony, no, like she said with the single balls, and I would like to highlight the importance to at a very early stage when they are children to create this idea that everything is not coming from outside but from inside without an individualistic philosophy, just for the idea of how powerful you may come if you just are open to listen, you know? And this is I think is we are not maybe in India is different developed, but in most of the cases I think in Brazil with Lilian is the same as myself. We learn as adults. Is like at a different stage, or not a childhood, but we learn from life that that's the way. So we learn first from external to internal, and then we start knowing that is in the inverted way.
Indeed, yes, yes. Life's lessons and journeys are both on the outside and the inside, right?
Mhm.
So, empowered living. What else can we contribute to each other here that would allow us to build a larger legacy of a world of our globe that is not functioning from victimhood? Anisa, please share something more with us that would give us a foundation, add to a foundation that is more needed than ever to not remain a victim, to bring our inner journey more in front of us than we ever have before.
Thank you. I think that it's my personal belief that if we have kind of an overview or kind of a belief that we are here on purpose and we are more than that physical body, so we have a soul. Um, and the reason that we are, again, there is something to accomplish something in this world. And than to realize that we are connected, or eventually we can be connected, because sometimes we have veils, of course, and then the connection can get weak, kind of, like the antennas. I see the people like, the souls like antennas and go up to get connected to God, to universe, to energy, to whatever you like to call it. uh, so if we have that vision, let's say, then we believe that we are guided and we are surrounded. And if there are moments of difficulty from the external world, then we will be able really to find that surrender, and then ask for help, ask for support, and ask for guidance and intuition, and ask also for see what is in it for us. Maybe we don't see it as fast as we like sometimes. And from the other side, it gives us the power also to accept when the things come, to say, hey, these things are coming, that's very bad, that's awful. And at the same time, accept it, you know. So it can be, we are in discomfort sometimes, not everything is easy, so let's talk about the reality, right? And from the other side, in deep of our heart, we know that what is happening, it is kind of divine or universe or energy plan for us, and it's part of our growth. So then we stay with that, we stick with that, and we search really to see what we can make from it, and instead of just lose our energy to complain about that, or to try to avoid it, or to, we were talking, I had someone who got addicted to alcohol, and then by discovering and talking to this person, we get to the point that she was abused as a child. And of course we cannot say, hey, that's fine, let's take it positive. No, abuse is something terrible, that's awful. And from the other side, we can, and we have opportunity to work on it, to avoid that that soul gets addicted, or have a very difficult life. So by going through a process again to understand, hey, it's awful what's happened to me, accept it, not accept it that is good, but accept it in a way that accept what has happened, you know, just see it realistically, and then go through the process in a way that you should not avoid to see what happens to you to go to alcohol. So that let's say that topic is a quite wide, and one can say a lot about the empowerment, because it's about, again, be conscious where we are, who we are, how we can be connected, how we can be surrounded, ask for help, and then eventually we can change our perspective when the things kind of come to us.
Wow. As you were talking, I felt as if my vision was expanding, because I think when you, as you so rightly said, and if I understood correctly, that when you go through some kind of a trauma, you tend to either block it or suppress it, or even at times deny it. So, in therapy, in counseling, or even when you start with that intent that you don't want to let it rule your life, dictate how it is going to be, the first step has to be that you have to bring down those walls that does not allow you to see it. And generally you're blocking it because it's painful to relive it. So,
Absolutely.
as I think that is what is resonating with each one of us, that when we see the chaos and we see the misery and the tragedy unfolding around us, there are parts of us that are shrinking behind walls. Whereas this is time to bring down your walls, to bring down your barriers, so that your inner strength can prosper and radiate to those people that are suffering. Because when you block pain, you also tend to block your own energy, your own aura from reaching out, from radiating. So I think that we've covered so much ground, and on this point of what would it be like to live without any kind of walls, no matter what you're going through, would you please take us through your healing and meditation session, so that we can surrender?
Absolutely. I'm just wondering if someone wants to add something, if
Yes,
someone
please.
likes to add some story, or how to bring more really more inner peace, or as you mentioned, more love to others, anything.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes, before we go to the meditation, that is the the passion for this session is to leave this meditation that every month they leave us with a very special energy and spirit. But I would like just to highlight something very few points. what means acceptance. No, you both have said to accept what is happening to you, no matter what is it, and that is something I would like to go back to what I say about education. We are not educated to accept as the way to reject and to be rebel to what's happening to you is the courage attitude, and the most courage attitude is to accept and then work through that acceptance. It's not resignation, it's acceptance, and it's something that is not and it is nuances, no, because it's not exactly what people think of what means acceptance. No, it's not resignation, and meditation help for that, because when you close your eyes and you create awareness of what's happening, you enter in a new dimension. And only the people who try to do meditation is the only way that could connect with that. And for that, I think there is no description. It's just, or you feel it or not. No, just Lilian.
That is so beautiful. Yes, yes.
Lilian, yeah.
Okay. I think like you, Mar, we have to accept it first, and then we have the courage to keep on going, and that's really difficult to see everything that happens to us, and realize what to do with this. I think all the woman has uh, said the histories about the past. Everyone, everybody, and we have, yes, we have to accept this, and and teach with any anything, any bad thing that happened with us.
Yes, yes, that is really the stuff of life that we all come into it and do face our ups and downs. And when it's when you're down and you're depleted and you really don't have it in you to get up and face the world, it takes courage and it takes digging into your inner strength. And somewhere I feel that if you start living in a way where you're not acknowledging your inner person as much as you're acknowledging your outer person, then you get a knock on your on the head in with some kind of a challenge or a crisis, because the whole purpose of this beautiful life is to experience consciousness, and we tend to forget that at times. Am I right on that, Anisa?
Yes, the sign of universe, right? Poof.
Yeah.
Or sometimes nicer poof.
Exactly. And
But
some of
yes,
us really kind of have need that big box of wake up,
yes,
towards being
yes.
conscious. And some of us are done with just a slight tap on the head and like, oh yes, I'm awake, I am aware, I am conscious. So it is our as human beings and the only species with an active mind, I think, is also like a double-edged sword where you let your mind dominate, whereas it should be the mind and your consciousness together to live through life. So as you said, Anisa, a little while ago, that the masks keep coming down, and the more we believe that it is we are those victims, or we are those poor ones who, yes, please go ahead, Mar.
Oh, sorry. No, I just have a question for Anisa, because many people wondering on how to meditate, because it's a whole technique, and how is the best practice to do it? Where do you find really the place to do it? People, we live in a world, a turbulent world, but it's so difficult to find time to peace, to listen to just to be in the garden quietly is difficult. So to find the moment, how we could do it.
That's interesting question about how or where. There are so many type of meditation. I think the first thing is just willing, to
And
see,
just
okay,
come.
I want to, I'm open to try, or then afterwards just understand the benefit. because if someone is not convinced, you're not going to also to make time for that, right? If you're convinced of something or if you like to do that, you're going to find time for that, no matter how time taking it is. And I think meditation, one doesn't need to meditate 1 hour per day, even 10 minutes is enough. So it's really dependent on the feeling of the person, of the will of the person. And the best thing is joining like immediately a group. I even sometimes tell to my clients, pay in advance. So then once you pay, you are kind of have a like not obligation, but you're committed, right? To say, hey, I paid, so I go. And once you pay and you go for a year, then it becomes like a habitude. So at the more, I think at the beginning, it's good if you join classes because you're in a group, you're motivated by the other people. And yeah, I think the basic thing is just be convinced that it has benefit for you, or to understand and say, I want to try to see how the benefit will come to my life. And then once you have that, you're going to find time. You're going to meditate consciously under the shower, once you wake up, when you're in the bus. I sometimes meditate when I'm just queuing. So just, bring my attention inside and sending love to other people. Or sometimes I'm doing detangling, like a Buddhist practice, You're walking in the street and you're actively sending love to people. So you're going to find time. I think it's not the matter of time because we do waste so much time during our life that it doesn't, we cannot even measure it, right? It's about wanting something, right? Rather than time, I think.
Right.
May I ask another question, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
I think this is for Sonal. I think also for Sonal, because many time ago I have listened that they say that from India, when they look at the Western world doing yoga and meditating, they say that they are ridiculous the way they do it because they don't know how to do it, because they don't have the technique, they don't really know how to do it. Is that correct? Is there ways to do it that are correctly? We could do meditation in the wrong way. There is a negative way of doing it, or not. Also, for you, Anissa, but also for Sonal, that she's from her perspective from India. I would like to get her opinion. Sonal, Anissa?
I let Sonal go first.
Sonal, have you heard the question?
No, actually, I'm sorry. I have my mummy, 88 years, so she's not well. So I went down.
Okay. Okay. Maybe you listen better to Rujika, please.
Okay, Sonal, so are you able to continue if your mother is not well?
Yeah, because she needs me.
Oh, okay.
I'm here
All
since quite some time.
Okay, all right. So in that case, maybe Anissa can answer your question, Mark.
Yeah.
We send you, Sonal, loads of love and healing. I'm happy that
Thanks so much.
You're practicing
I
pranic
would
healing
take,
as well. So very happy to meet you, Sonal.
Yeah, before leaving, I will like I would like to sing a song, not song, actually it's a prayer in this time of where we need peace. So can I?
Amazing.
Yes.
Please do.
It's in Hindi. Yeah. सबका हो कल्याण, सब रहे सुखी, सबका हो मंगलम पूरब में, पश्चिम में, उत्तर में, दक्षिण में, पहाड़ों में, समुंदर में, वन में, जंगल में, जन जन के जीवन में शांति हो, शांति हो, शांति हो। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः थैंक यू सो
Thank
मच
thank you so much.
Thank you for this
Thank
beautiful
you
gift
so
that you
much.
give us. Thank you so much.
thank you so
Thank you
much
so much.
thank you so
That
much
was
I'm really sorry for leaving
no, no, not at
Thank
all,
you.
not at all.
Thank you
Not
for being there. Thank you.
Thank
thanks so much to all of you good wishes
Thank
Good
you.
wishes to
Sending
you.
you peace, dear
You
one.
are welcome to come the next session.
Mar, I just briefly translated what she was singing and I sent it in the chat. And I think that also answered your question because her song was just a request, a blessing for all of humanity to be at peace, to prosper. And when we are all wanting to walk into more consciousness, there is no wrong or right of meditative practices. And if anyone at all says, oh, I am from the land of meditation, then they are somewhere not being conscious.
I
Beautiful.
just want to confirm what Rushika said, and um, the scope of meditation and consciousness is also to bring out this concept of wrong or right, right? So if we put there even right and wrong, then I have a story about that, and I learned it when I was a kid. It's very interesting. So Moses, you say it's Moses, right? The prophet of God. Is it Moses? You said Moses in English, right?
Moses, is that one?
Moses, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So he was going for a promenade, for a walk, like in a Sahara, right? And he was just walking and talking to God. And then he sees like how do you say, like a shepherd you called, that goes
Mm-hmm.
like with the sheep. And this very simple man, he was sitting with the sheep and he was chanting a song for God. So he was telling, hey, my God, I like to have you here. I will comb your hair. I will clean your nails. I will wash your clothes. I love you so much, your face. And Moses get angry and he says, hey, what are you singing for? God doesn't have a form. God doesn't have a nail. God doesn't have a hand that you want to clean. What are you talking about? And this person gets very upset and starts crying. And at this moment, God's come to Moses and say, hey, let my servant to sing for me as they want. That's totally fine. And when you asked the question, it just came to my mind that, we are all souls and we're the servants, we are bodies, whatever, we are human being, and to whatever we believe and we want to connect energy, universe, if the intention is pure, nothing can stop us. There is not really a technique that can connect us better than the others. So it's about really intention. So that's my belief.
But you see, Anissa, that from the Western world, the technique is more important that the wealth, that the inner wealth, isn't it? The shape of the meditation is more important that what is the inner, because we are not educated for that. And that's why
That's interesting to hear from you. That's interesting. Yes. Yes. That's also about letting go of shape, right?
yeah.
Just be and don't expect. And it's a process, and we need to be gentle for ourselves. So if we will would perfect, we wouldn't be here. So
Mhm. About most of the aggressions, we are talking about peace today, and I strongly believe that most of the aggression is because the people are not compassionate with themselves. They don't
yes,
forgive themselves for the things that they don't do wrong or what means for them successful, and then they condemn others to their own
yes.
failure, no, or they would consider their failure, no. Lilian, I don't know if you are happy with this. You will let us know. But in Brazil, is there anything, a culture in relation to meditation? There is not much people. They reject it. They know they do in a special way. They prefer in groups, individually, because this is for meditation practice. So it's important for us. Also in the Netherlands, I would like to know also if there is a culture on that. Lilian.
No, here in Brazil is quite normal to do meditation, and mainly during the pandemic, all the women started to do meditation with groups, also by internet, and because we stayed closer in our homes. Someone, a lot of women stayed alone, and
Mhm.
so to to be uh, live and healthy, we did a lot of meditation, and we discovered that it's really important to our soul and our body, and so it's really common to do meditation here, meditation, and also practice, um, like pray and like be grateful, and that's a Brazilian way to live. I think so. But you, I don't speak in English, Mar.
Don't say that. Don't say that. We think about
We
that.
are
I'm sorry
speaking in
about my
English,
mistakes.
Lilian. We are speaking in English.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
This is the magic that Anissa is spread all over. You speak English now. In
you
Brazil.
are speaking in English, yeah, perfectly.
Thank you.
Rutika, in the Netherlands or in France, how do you perceive meditation and meditation practice? If it's different from India, is particularly there is rejection about it? What do you think is the popular view of that?
I can speak for the Netherlands to an extent because I came here about 20 years ago. So I am now Dutch, but maybe a native Dutch would have a different opinion than mine. What I see here is a very inclusive society. A large number of people are moving away from traditional religion and seeking out what really works for them.
Mhm.
Some are very much into sports and they will be spending a lot of time investing it in keeping their bodies fit, and you can see them jogging away, and perhaps that's their connection with their body and consciousness. There are a lot of yoga clubs, meditation clubs. I practice access consciousness with a large community of people here in Netherlands. So really it is about what is it that works for you. What has your journey been in life that is inviting you to reach out for something that you feel is yours. And that's how I've seen it go here.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you. In,
You're mute, Mar.
yeah, Mario, mute.
Sorry. I supposed to be in the controls, I supposed to be. So I apologize for that. I would like to invite you all to start the meditation because we are more or less on time.
Yeah.
So if you think, Rutika, you're meditating, if it's correct what I'm saying,
Absolutely. No, no, we can start that. And I just had one request, Anisa, that as you take us into meditation, also teach us like a way that you were just saying sometimes when you're in the queue or you're in the shower. So that meditation technique must be different from the one that you practice when you're like sitting down with an hour, 10 minutes, 20 minutes at hand. So that also would be really useful for us that have overloaded lives.
So let's do now something that we do with open eyes. Is it fine for
Okay,
you? Okay.
awesome.
So, of course, if you do meditation with closed eyes, you will be able to bring more, let's say, stillness because you go really inward and you just, it's like closing the curtain, right? And just be in your cozy space. And at the same time, it's fine as well to see what is happening outside and at the same time stay. So what I usually do, it's a mix of heart breathing and tingling, which is a Buddhist practice. So the first things I connect to my heart. Maybe you can, Mar. It's good if you just leave us to be four of us in the screen, so I can see you exactly, so we can connect. Amazing. So maybe we can just start to connecting to our hearts. You can bring your hands really literally physically to your heart. You can put both your hearts, it depends, both your hands, it depends how you feel comfortable, if you're queuing or if you're in the bus. My friends, they know that I'm like that sometimes. They know, and they're like, you're meditating while talking to me. So that's interesting. Maybe some families or friends, they just notice that after a while. Or you can simply focus on your heart area. For myself, I like to bring one hand to my heart. And then I start to breathing a little bit slower and deeper than usual. So that breathing as well bring stillness. And when the heart rate come down, then it sends some signal physiologically to brain to say, hey, all is good. You're not in fight. You should not flee from something. It's good. Everything is good. So let's practice it. Just have the hand here, and then breathing a little bit slower and deeper than usual. So deeper means that it goes until the belly. So it's not a chest breathing that is short, but it goes really until the belly. And a slower means that the cycle of breathing is longer. So it's not, it's like, so do you feel already some more
Yeah,
stillness? And then at the same time, you can add the stuff into that. For example, you can call upon something that you need in this moment. Maybe you need peace, or so if you're in a stress, maybe you want to call upon peace. So you just connect to an event that it reminds you peace. Maybe it's a peaceful place or peaceful person. Maybe to your mom or someone that represents peace for you. Maybe you're a spiritual teacher, so you connect to that. All these things happening then when you start to doing it all together. So I'm just keep giving you the pieces. So you just remind that peace moment, peace event, and peace person, and then you breathe into that. It's like that it's happening to you. So our mind doesn't really understand if something is happening to us physically or we're just thinking of that. So we're just fooling a little bit our mind as well to bring more calm. And at the same time, you can send that peace. So that's the fourth step. If you see someone or if you know people that they need more peace in life, inner peace, outer peace, whatever, or more healing, people are suffering, people are sick, ill, whatever is happening, you can send it to them. So you can really if you're familiar with distance healing, for example, you can just send the light coming from your heart and imagine that you can be in the bus, seeing someone who is suffering. You see that person is not happy, or some addicted people close to the street. What you do, you see them. What you do, you can practice that. Send them the healing. So we focus on our hearts. We breathe a little bit slower and deeper than usual. And and then we feel the peace. We can also allow that peace like a light, go to our body. If we are tense somewhere, our belly is tense, our back is paining, is aching. So we can just direct that light to go to whole body, and we know that is a peace light fluid, is a healing fluid that is going to our throat, to our face, to our hands, and we can also enjoy this relaxation while we are sending also the peace and light to other people. So by sending it out, it doubles, so we can even see that the life of the people that are suffering is getting better. So you can do it, of course, the exact meditation with closed eyes, that you focus more and connect more, or if you are queuing somewhere, you cannot close your eyes, or there is a moment that you feel a stress or conflict with someone, you can really just rapidly just connect to your heart, bring your breath down, and then send peace to that person as well. It can harmonize also communication and conversation. So if you are fine with that, I want that we all send the peace and light to people who are in need in this moment, whoever is suffering from inner conflict or outer conflict, who is sick, who needs help. Maybe you can send it also to your family to harmonize communication, and also bring insight to how we can really act as well, to take action for inner peace, outer peace and love. And I say, even if we do it for 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes in the evening, we can see the change in some time. So we just build up. And once you're ready, you can just slowly, gently open your eyes, or if you had your eyes open, you can just come back and connect to your natural breath.
Wow.
How was your open eyes meditation?
It was a very different experience, almost as if your entire body was becoming aware.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just your heart participating, but the whole of your body. You could feel the different parts inside as well. I don't know if it sounds logical or not, but yes, there was a very deep connection, and you felt the breath nourishing your entire body. So thank you so much for that, Anisa. It was beautiful.
Thank you, Ruchika. Thank you so much. It's a very simple technique, and it's very powerful. So
Indeed.
it's I think that we need to kind of get used to simplicity as well, to appreciate simplicity. Don't look for something very difficult to say, okay, that's difficult, that's complex, so it will work. So many simple things also have a big effect, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially for, I would say, moms like me that have 3 kids. So you're always looking at agendas and the fear of, did I miss out on somebody's activities? I mean, just
You're a
this.
hero, then. You're a hero. Oh.
Oh, It was awesome to have you all contribute today, and Anisa, for you to lead us into a very, very empowering session, both within and without.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
It's good to highlight that Anisa join us every month to contribute to always honorary with the same passion, with the same determination to give power, because empowerment is to give power and to find your inner self. And we are so grateful for you, and we would like to invite all, because we are going to it's us who is absolutely grateful, Anisa, and we are going to invite all, and I will leave you the 13 Monday 3 hours of meditation, dancing, singing. We are going to have people from Hong Kong to US, leading by Anisa. So if you like this, there will be more the 13 of next Sunday 13, as a way to celebrate International Women's Day. And you have to register on the link. There you are. This is the event, and I don't know if you would like to add anything, Anisa.
Do we have also the link here, Maria?
We are going to publish on our website.
Okay,
on
super.
300 Global Networking on Facebook. So if they follow our page, they will here they will have the link to register. It's a free event, of course.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
And it's opportunity for networking as well. So
Yes.
we have different coaches as well, right? We have a coaches for health, nutrition, and as well as for singing, I think, and dancing, right? You
Singing
mentioned
and body
yes.
language. And we have our dear Shirley Win Cho from Hong Kong, and we have Anita.
Amazing.
Yes, she's amazing. And we have Anita Caprice that is with her poems that empower and enlighten our path. So they will be great people to learn from them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So they are all invited.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So on that note, I wish you all a goodbye and so much gratitude for opening up our hearts to so much more possibilities than we knew of an hour before, and wish you all an amazing day ahead in your parts of the world. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.